evening, everybody. How are we doing? Well, welcome to sunny Manchester, which is something I haven't been able to say for quite some time, really. In fact, if you look closely, you will see that I have, what did Lisa call it? A farmer's suntan, where I've got a white band down here. That was walking 200 yards in the sun yesterday without thinking about it. So, yes, we have sunshine, which is good. And I think everybody's more cheerful. I did a gig on Saturday in Stockport outside the old Victoria Market there with my good friend Bo, and it was lovely. It was just such good fun to be out again and just gigging, and nice people. Not the place wasn't sort of heaving, but all the seats were full, which all accounts, and it was great. It was really, really good. So hopefully things are starting to loosen up just a little bit. We can't be too certain because there's still talk that the 21st of June is not going to happen. But anyway, that's 20 days away. It's the 1st of June. June the 1st would have been my mum's birthday, and she'd have been 105 today. Yeah, she made it to 100, but she didn't, which is pretty damn good going. So, what should we do today? This is a new song. A lot of the people I've spoken to in the course of doing this have been talking about, what they've been up to during the pandemic, and most people have said that they thought they'd get to do loads of stuff, and they never did. And then after a while, as people started feeling guilty because they were reading that, somebody had written his entire life story in 3 days, and somebody else had built a yacht in his front lounge, and all these sort of things. And I've been through the same thing. But I discovered that though I hadn't actually finished many songs, I was starting a new journal because I'd reached the end of my current one. And I glanced back through it and found there were 9 unfinished songs in there. So that's my plan for the forthcoming weeks, is just to try and finish off some of these songs, and also try and get match fit for playing again, because it's kind of weird, if you've not played with anybody. I mean, I've obviously done the online things, but actually playing with somebody live has been been a nice experience to get back to, but not easy. So. This is called Only the Sky is Blue. Drop my toast, it falls the right way down. I try to smile, but it ends up like a frown. I'm telling you, honey, my love is true. 'Cause when we're together, only the sky is blue. Without you, baby, I'm a dog without a bone. I'm a cat with no whiskers, a king without a throne. I'm telling you, honey, you know that I love you. 'Cause when we're together, only the sky is blue. When I go fishing, the sun don't shine. The fish ain't biting, just a waste of time. I'm telling you, honey, my love is true. 'Cause when we're together, only the sky is blue. There's food in the kitchen, there's beer in the freezer, but you're not here, and I need you. I'm telling you, honey, my love is true. 'Cause when we're together, only the sky is blue. Yeah. When I'm with you, it feels alright. day after day after night, I'm telling you, honey, you know my love is through. 'Cause when we're together, 'cause when we're together, 'cause when we're together, only the sky is blue. A joyful sound I shall make today. Oh God, what's happened there? Yeah, I love that sort of like 20s feel. Sort of takes me back to listening to Leon Redbone. Somebody's asked me the other day, who did I regret not seeing live? And Leon Redbone is one of them, because I thought he was just something else. But somebody who I have heard live, not seen live, but live like this, is Lisa Mann. Lisa, where are you? Talk to me.
I'm right here. Hello.
Hang on. Oh, hang on a minute. I can hear you, but I can't see you. There we
I
are.
am. Hello there.
Hi, how's it doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. It's funny because our sort of paths seem to have crossed in the last couple of weeks because you did the interview for Blues Matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm involved with Blues Matters as well, and
Yeah.
then we both did the thing down in Leek.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
I feel like we're all friends. So you were telling me it's hot here. It's hot there. It's hot here. Is it hot? Did you say it was 90 degrees already?
Yeah, it's unseasonably hot right now, and we're not ready for that because we had a really bad fire season last year in Oregon. So we're really hoping and praying that this year isn't going to be as bad, but we're already getting these really hot temperatures. People are enjoying it and going out and doing stuff and having fun outside, but I don't know. I prefer the air conditioning myself. So I'll stay in here and jam.
Yeah, it's a funny
33 Celsius.
33. Oh gosh, hell, that is hot. We're nowhere near that. There'd be people dead on the street in Manchester if we got that sort of temperature. But the thing about the air conditioning is, we lived in Italy for quite a few years, 10 years in total, and the Italians hate air conditioning because they think it keeps germs within your atmosphere in the house. So despite the fact it gets very, very hot out there, they don't use air conditioning. I mean, they do in modern, office blocks and things like that, but
rough.
They're kind of, I don't know. It's almost like it's too modern for them. They don't want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think, like I said, my husband, Alan, who's been my technical assistant today, he's traipsed all around Europe, and there's many places where he's been where there's no air conditioning, but at least the window opens.
Yes.
There's a lot of hotels in America that have air conditioning, but the windows don't open.
Yes.
So sometimes it's better to just get some fresh air.
Fresh air, yeah. So, tell me, right, as I recollect what I was reading about you, that you were 11 years old and you decided you wanted a Paul McCartney-style bass.
Yeah, I saw this. Well, I had already decided that I wanted to play the bass because I was picking out bass lines on my mom's acoustic guitar, which I still have. I still have her guitar. My mom has passed away, and happy 105th birthday to your mom.
Oh,
heavenly birthday, her heavenly
birthday.
Yeah. So I was attracted to the sound of the bass. I was plunking out, songs from Machine Head, the Deep Purple album, on her acoustic guitar, and I was really into Kiss, and I thought Gene Simmons was really cool, and so I saw this bass at a pawn shop, and it cost $237.25, and I put $10 down on it, and I walked home from school every day for a year and saved my lunch money so I could buy this bass guitar. I just had to have it. Yeah, and it looked like it was a copy of the Hofner. So it looked like a violin.
Yeah. Yeah. And you still have it.
I still have it.
That's
it
brilliant.
doesn't work, but I still have it.
Does it matter? You can't get rid of that, could you?
No way. No way.
Brilliant.
Not after walking home all those times. It was exhausting.
So you started playing bass, and you went pro at what, 19, 20?
Yes, exactly right. I wanted to perform for a living, so I started working in top 40. And there's a part of me that says, "Oh, I regret, spending so much time in nightclubs playing dance songs and Madonna songs and whatever I played, pop, rock." Hard rock. I was in an Irish band for a while, and we played Irish music. We played country, reggae, whatever anybody would hire me for. But I just learned how to play so many different styles of music, and I found that now when I started writing my own music, I had all this kind of tucked away in the back of my brain.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's. Because we all get asked the same questions, whether you're famous or not. Oh, you play music. What sort of music do you play? Yeah. And it's very difficult. I mean, especially if you've been playing a long time, because it doesn't. I mean, what I do doesn't fall into a very specific category. So I always say it's blues. And a while ago in Italy, we were involved in an exhibition. And that festival thing that was called Urban Contamination. So I started referring to it as contaminated blues, because there's all sorts of other stuff in there. There's bits of jazz. I played with the big band for years, and great. But I think you're absolutely right. I mean, let's be fair about it. Hendrix didn't emerge from nowhere, did he? Mm-hmm. He'd been working with the Isleys. He'd been doing all sorts of stuff before, and I think I think it broadens your perspective on music. So I agree with you. It's not a waste of time at all. Yeah, you play a wide variety of styles, and that's great, because I think audiences prefer that, frankly. There's a lot of blues festivals, and love blues, but you hear just a shuffle for 8 hours. It gets a little old, so it's good to mix it up a little bit. Have you ever had that thing where you're playing with the house band at like a house band at a festival? It happened to me, and I was playing. It was like a 3-day blues festival, and it was all.
Yeah, it's like dun, 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 dun.
And I got up and I said it's like it's a funk groove in A, and the bass player's eyes lit up.
What's
like,
that?
Yeah,
I see. He was like, thank God.
Fabulous. Thank God for that. It was like giving a dog a bone. It was lovely. Okay, so so you've paid your dues, as it were. You're doing all that, and then you decide to go straight into the blues, or?
Well, I lived in Seattle for a while and played in top 40 bands in the 90s. So we were doing top 40 and rock, and so we weren't in the grunge scene. That was that famous grunge scene, but we kind of crossed paths with each other every now and then. So but I moved back down to Portland in 1998, and of course I'm a working musician. I want to work as a musician, and that's what you do. You play the blues in Portland, Oregon, if you want a paying gig, if you want a decent gig. So I started hanging out at this place called the Candlelight. And it was also called the Scandalite, people would call it, because it was a place where there was a lot of people meeting each other there. So
meeting people each other.
Meeting people there.
I like the way you said that.
So, there's a lot of hookups going on there. But I started hanging out at the Candlelight and jamming with Linda Hornbuckle, who's a local blues and soul singer. And there was a big jam there, and I just started getting to know people, and I got to meet my friend Sunny Hess, and I worked with her, still work with her, so many years later with the Northwest Women Rhythm and Blues. I met, through them, I met Paul DeLay. I played with Paul DeLay for a while. Louis Payne, they call him the king of the B3, and just some other blues artists, Lloyd Jones, jammed with Curtis Salgado, which was a lot of fun. And so
he's getting a lot of pushing at the moment. I'm seeing him a lot.
He's just so amazing, and he's he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. I mean, cancer, everything, nothing can stop this guy. So yeah, I just it's just if you're thrown in the pool, you better learn to swim. So here's what was interesting, because when I started out playing bass, it was Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin and Cream and Black Sabbath. I mean, it was like the blues went to Britain.
Oh, absolutely.
And I heard that when I was young, and it came back as this proto metal and this early this hard rock and acid rock, and that's what I heard. So when I started playing blues, I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah,
I've been playing this the whole time.
I heard when we were in the States a couple of years ago. We went down to the B.B. King Museum, and there was a film they had on there. And part of it was an interview with Keith Richards. And Keith Richards was talking about the first time the Stones went to America. And, of course, there were a lot of people in Britain. I mean, because I saw people like, B.B. King and all those guys in the late 60s.
Wow.
But prior to that, there was sort of people like Reverend Gary Davis were doing folk clubs, in Britain. So we'd seen all that because there were a group of people in London who were bringing these guys over on tour. And then what happened was that the Stones kind of re-exported it to America, and then the whole thing just sort of became a mangled thing of music from both sides. And but you're right. I mean, the whole, the Cream recording Crossroads and Skip James songs and things like that. It was a fantastic era, I have to say. But, so you're there now, and you're doing the blues. You decide. Did you kind of think, well, yeah, this sits right with me?
I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Because I had friends like my friend AC Porter. He would just burn these CDs for me and go, "You need to hear this. You need to hear Big Maybelle. You need to hear Johnny Guitar Watson." And he would hand me these CDs. Here's a Bobby Blue Bland CD. And I was just, wow. And then the first time I heard Little Milton was just like a revelation. It was just, I couldn't believe this man's voice. And like I said, I actually, as a teenager, had a heavy metal background. Because I went from, the Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin to Iron Maiden and stuff like that. That's what I was really into. And so, but I heard that energy, that really intensity that singers like Little Milton and Howlin' Wolf, and it was like, oh, this is the Matrix. This is where all that heaviness.
The blues Matrix, I like
that. Blues had a baby, and they named it rock and roll. Yeah, so it was just like I fell in love with the music and with the singers, and with Etta James and Coco Taylor and Big Maybelle, and I couldn't touch these singers, but it gets into your bones, it just gets in there.
Well, I can hear you getting so excited about this. I want to hear you sing something now. What are you going to sing for us?
Well, I'm going to sing. Hey, Alan, can you help me out? I know I have to send you away. My spray. You see it anywhere? I have this annoying, I get dry mouth. And so I'm always like chewing gum and drinking, and I have this little spray. I think it's next to my bedside, actually. So I'm like, I forgot to bring that over here. But you know what I'll start with is a song. So what I love this program you have here, because to be able to talk about the songs, it really means a lot, because some of my songs I'm just like, I want to write a breakup song, so I'll write a breakup song. Or somebody else will have a funny story, and I'll write. But this one, actually, it was, and I can relate to this to your mom's birthday, because my mom had passed away, and this was in 2012 or so. My mom passed away, and through the process of grieving, I lost my voice. I injured my vocal cords. And I lost my voice pretty much completely for 6 months. And I couldn't work. And I had other singers covering for me, but I wasn't making any money. I had to split the money with them. And I was really depressed. It was rough. And my husband and I were living in this little dinky apartment. And I was making lunch one day. And I'm chopping food, and I'm just feeling really sorry for myself. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I have food to eat. here I am chopping this food. And I looked around, I was like, I have a place to stay. And then I thought, well, I must be doing okay. And then this song just came out. I turned off the stove and I went and I wrote this song in about 15 minutes.
Brilliant.
All right. All right. I got a room in which to stay. I got a guitar that I can play. I got a stove on which to cook. And when I'm bored, I got a book. Looks like I can safely say I think I'm doing okay. Ooh, I got a lamp to help me see. I got a lock, whoa, and I got a key. I got a roof over my head, and when I'm tired, I got a bed. Looks like I can safely say, well, I think I'm doing okay. Whoa, and sometimes I get aches and pains, and I haven't got a nickel to my name. I don't think things are gonna change, but I'm feeling pretty good about it just the same. I got a shirt on my back, got a picture hanging up on a tack. Got a fire, I got a log, and when I'm lonely, I got my dog. Looks like I can safely say, whoa, I think I'm doing okay. And that's just gonna have to do it. Now I know my dreams went down in flames, and I haven't got a nickel to my name. Whoa, and I don't think things are gonna change, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. Just the same, I got a shirt up on my back, got a picture hanging up on a tack. Oh, I got a fire, got a log, and when I'm lonely, I got you, dog. Looks like I can safely say, whoa, I think I'm doing okay. Whoa, looks like I can safely say, hey, I think I'm doing okay. Ooh.
Great. Love it. Love it.
Thank
Love
you.
it. Got some comments incoming here. Love the lyrics. Caroline Freeman. Is she a friend of yours? And
Hi, Caroline. I see her on I think this is my feed. Hello. Hello, Nev.
yeah.
Hello,
We've got
Caroline.
a message
And
from,
Jessica. Hi,
Stephen Harrison. Steve, I know from give a quick blast to the magazine,
Oh,
Blues
cool.
Matters magazine.
Yay, Blues Matters.
Steve is a friend who writes for Blues Matters, and in this edition, he's done an interview with Van Morrison and Steve Cropper.
Wow. That's heavy hitters.
That's I think I spoke to him about 10 minutes before the Van Morrison one, and I wanted to speak to him afterwards, but he was flying like a kite going home, I think.
Wow. I bet.
As you can imagine.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Who else have we got here? Jessica Blaumer. Is it Blaumer?
Yes. Hello.
Nev Buxton asking, have you heard any music by When Rivers Meet and Ellis Bailey?
I have heard Ellis Bailey, and I actually performed with her at the Great British Rhythm and Blues Fest. We performed on the same day, same stage, and she is amazing. Yeah. She is so wonderful, and she's such a nice person too.
Yeah.
You know,
I have to try and get her on the show. Actually,
yeah.
When Rivers Meet is a duo, young.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard
young
them.
Guys, very good, very good. Husband, wife. She plays mandolin and a few other instruments. He plays guitar, and they both sing great. Their first album has had quite a lot of accolades. I think they won a few. There was the awards ceremony quite recently, which they won quite a lot of things on. But that's enough about other people. Let's get back to Lisa Mann.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, great song. Love it. When did you first start writing, do you think? Because it's not everybody can remember when they started.
I fairly well do, because I never considered myself a songwriter, and I would always complain about, like, oh, I can't write songs. I mean, I wrote a few punk rock songs and stuff when I was a teenager, and never did really anything with it. Wrote a song for Dead Conspiracy, which was this thrash metal band I was in as a teenager, and it wasn't very good. And it was the mid-2000s, and I just started writing. Actually, I started writing some country songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so around 2000, I wrote some country songs and recorded them. And then I started writing I just wrote weird mixes of songs. I mean, I put out I self-produced 2 albums that were like, it'd have country songs, blues songs, rock songs, like arena rock songs. It was just a mishmash of everything. So I finally started honing down to kind of a country-influenced, Motown and Stax-influenced style of contemporary blues music that always had, I'm always going to have some shuffles in there, and yeah.
But I noticed in a lot of your songs, you don't follow just a standard 12-bar format. That you'll have bridges in them, and a lot of sort of harmonic movements that are very Staxy for me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very,
yeah,
because and your voice, when you sing those, you sing them differently as well. You sing them with a slightly more soul-y voice, which is lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
But I mean, I think we had a bit of this conversation before, about the fact that the blues is bigger than just the blues.
It's a big tent.
There's plenty of room for everybody.
It really is. I think there's just, you got to have room for conservative influences that say, well, that's not blues, and that's not blues, and that's not blues enough. I think it's important to have voices like that. Even though they can be kind of grumpy curmudgeons sometimes. But because that way we don't get too far outside the tent.
Yeah.
But then we also need people to kind of stretch and pull and add all those different influences just so it can stay relevant and grow.
Yeah. I think the point for me is that it only becomes a problem where suddenly, as a musician, you suddenly find yourself that you I don't know, too jazzy to be in blues and too bluesy to be in jazz. Those sort of things. And there are some purists out there who are. Which is not something I go for. So you've talked about that song as being, a direct result of a sort of a click, a moment. That switching on the light bulb moment. Are you a regular songwriter? Do you say, right, I need to write another album's worth of material, or do you just do it as you're going along?
I can't. I kind of realized that my first attempts earlier in life at writing songs, trying to write songs, when I sat down and said, I'm going to write a song now. It just does not work for me. I have to be inspired by something. I have to hear it. I have to hear it in my head first. Yeah. And I will go through spurts where I'm hearing stuff. I'm hearing a bunch of stuff. And then there's been times when I'm driving in my car and I have to pull over and sing things into the app on my phone. Because
we all do it.
I've jumped out of the shower and said, I gotta, I'm going to forget this if I don't sing this into my phone app right now. So you can relate to that. But for me, I tend to be prolific in spurts.
Yeah.
And then I'll go for a really long dry run. But I do, if I sit down and make myself engage with those snippets that I've recorded, that's when I'm writing a song, is when I'm finishing a song.
Yes.
That's when there's work and
that's
I'm
good.
thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you've kind of, the seed of it is there and you're developing it and finishing. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's a good point. But the inspiration comes from wherever you happen to be, in the shower or driving down the road or having a conversation with somebody at a bar or whatever.
And sometimes, and this is actually a really good segue, so I'm glad you brought this question up.
I try my best.
Because sometimes there's a song that's been rolling around for a long time, and I'll have an idea, and then I'll just kind of forget about it and never finish it. And then another inspiration will come up. And then I'll go, now I know how to finish that song. And so this next song that I'll sing now is exactly that. I have my friend Sunny Hess. She's a musician, and I work with her and do these women's shows. She was diagnosed with cancer about it was over a decade ago. Was it a decade ago? I don't know. And so she was diagnosed with cancer. And the first day that she got her chemotherapy, she and her partner went out to the movies. They came home and their house was on fire. I kid you not. Her house was gutted by fire and smoke, and we were just wiping soot off of photographs and peeling them apart and trying to help her out. And I had this idea for a song based on a conversation I had with a very young, wealthy singer who was like, oh my God, can you teach me how to sing the blues? You sing the blues. And I thought, girl, you need to suffer before you can sing the blues. And then I thought, okay, what happened to Sunny, that really, inspired me to finish writing this song. So, I had this idea that was floating around. And after that happened to my friend Sunny, it was like, okay, I am going to finish this song.
That's great.
So I always dedicate this to her. All right. So this is an older song. I think it's, is it on this one? Yeah. It's on this old CD that I named Lisa Mann. I thought long and hard, what do I name it? And that's all I could come up with. So let's see if I can play it. It's kind of hard. All right.
Love it.
She turned to ask me why she's kicking off a Gucci shoe. She said, please, won't you teach me how'd you ever learn to sing the blues? I said, you seem sincere, girl, I'll give it to you straight. Them low-down blues is something you can't fake. If you wanna sing the blues, little sister, you ain't suffered enough. She said, I know that I can do it if I give it a try. I said impossible, and now I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna fill you in. You never woke up hungry, no food on your plate. You never shacked up with a man who liked cocaine and a 38. Yeah, you wanna sing the blues, little sister, you ain't suffered enough. She said, forgive me, it really doesn't sound so tough. I said, maybe not for Sunny, honey, but I know you never had it that rough. caught the club manager trying to skim off your cut. You never drove 300 miles to find another band setting up. Hey, you wanna sing the blues? Little sister, you ain't suffered enough. No, you never suffered, never had it so hard. You never suffered what with your daddy's credit card. You never suffered, never been beaten down. And if you wanna sing the blues, you gotta take some kicking around. You gotta hide in the club when gangs are shooting outside. Gotta come out of the gig and find they towed away your ride. You gotta step over a pool of blood just to get back to the stage. You gotta see some drunken biker thrown through a glass door in a rage. You got to get breast cancer, nearly go broke. You gotta come home from the movies, find your house went up in smoke. Lord, you wanna sing the blues, little sister, you ain't suffered. Oh, you wanna sing the blues, little sister, you ain't suffered. Oh, you wanna sing the blues, little sister, you ain't suffered enough.
Yeah, love it. Love it. That's great. You see, the story you're saying behind it, it reminded me that when Joss Stone put out her first album, whenever it was, one of the reviewers said, "Great voice, great arrangements, great album. She'll be fine once she's had a serious drink problem and a nervous breakdown."
Oh, that's a riot.
That's great, isn't it?
That's a riot.
Oh, God. Oh, can I just say hello to somebody who's just logged in? A gentleman called Baghdad Wazir, who lives in France, and
It's not showing up on.
is it? Oh, it's because this is going out to 3 different sources.
Oh,
probably.
okay.
Right. So because it goes out to another one from. It goes out to Twitter feed as well. Baghdad is a guy I met in Lille. We were driving back from Italy, and he was our Uber taxi driver. Mm-hmm. And we started chatting, and he said, you know, what have you been doing? I said, we've been out doing some gigs in Italy, and he was always very interested. And we chatted away for a while, and then he dropped us off, and Leslie and I got out of the car, and as we walked away, he came running after me and handed me a CD, and he said, "This is my blues band."
Cool.
And so he's been tuning in ever since. Good to see you, man. Look after yourself.
Great.
In
Lille? You met in Lille, France?
Yeah.
That's actually where my family lineage traces back to. The name Lily family.
Oh, right.
Traces back to Lille, France.
Wow. Gosh, see, small world, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Yes, where were we? Oh, yes, we were talking about living the blues. Yeah, it's the thing I like about your lyrics are that it's very much. I mean, everybody says their songs are about stories, but yours are quite clearly stories.
Yeah. Well, that one especially, and those are all true stories. By the
yes,
way.
yes. Driving 300 miles to find there's another band already set up. That's brilliant. Yeah.
That sucks.
There's a Buddy Whittington song that I like a lot called Second Banana. Have you ever come across that?
No, I'm writing that down.
Because he's the second. It talks about the guy who was the second guy in the band who basically isn't the star, and it describes how he's he has to look after the luggage and he has to fix his preamp when it's getting noisy and when you've forgotten your bag in Boise and stuff like that. And it's a really great song, but again it's got that, it's quite a clear story and telling anecdotes that clearly he has been through.
Yeah.
Do you find them, I mean, I listened to quite a few tracks, but not enough to actually be able to say, is that a sort of route you take often, of actually writing the song in that vein?
Yeah, I'd say there's a few songs that are like that. I've got a few tunes like that. Yeah. It's true. Or some, I guess I've written on a myriad of subjects, and sometimes it's bad times that friends have gone through.
Yes.
too. So, I didn't prepare to sing that song, though. Yeah, like my friend, I have a friend who's a blues musician. I can't remember my own lyrics. There's songs I haven't done in so long because I don't have a band and they don't sound so good with just the bass. So, but I have a friend and he had this on and off again relationship, and I wrote a song called "You Don't Know." It's kind of hard to play that song. There's actually just some footage of me at the Convent. I don't know if you ever experienced this music venue called the Convent in the UK. It's since closed down. It was a convent. It was really beautiful,
in Shropshire, is it?
I'm not sure where it was.
Yes, I do. I know the one you mean now. It's
the chapel was turned into a concert venue.
Yeah,
and there's a
some
video
friends
of
of mine
me
recorded
singing this
there.
song. Yeah, called "You Don't Know," and it was because this woman was just like, "Yeah, let's get back together." No, I don't. I think we should break up. And it was just like, come on, he's a great guy. Make up your mind. So sometimes I write songs about other people's experiences.
Right.
And not mine.
I've got one about a similar situation, which is called 2 Steps Forward and 1 Step Back.
Yeah.
No, 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Got to
Yeah.
get it the right. See, I can't remember my own lyrics either.
I can remember everybody else's songs.
So, what are your? Obviously, we're still hoping to get out of this lockdown situation pretty soon. What have you got in store? What have you got planned? Anything specific?
I've got this side project because, my heavy metal days. I've got this side project called White Crone, and I created a full album called The Poisoner. That was just before I released it, just before everything locked down.
Right.
So, did a opening at the local music store and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's
nice.
doing pretty well. I got some, I outsold Ozzy's release at that store. So that was one good thing. But I'm actually releasing a new single pretty soon under the name White Crone of Rainbow's Stargazer. It's a cover of Stargazer. And I just really loved Ronnie James Dio. I mean, he had it all. He had such soulful, like that Paul Rogers kind of bluesy approach to the way he sang hard rock. And so,
as soon as he said him, I thought Paul Rogers, because he was one of my, he still is one of my, Paul Kossoff was one of my favourite guitar players.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to be releasing a cover of Stargazer probably around July 9th. I think I'm aiming at July 9th because July 10th is Ronnie James Dio's birthday. So kind of aiming at that. We'll see if everything gets done by then.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are you hoping to take that on the road with the band at some point, or?
The heavy metal project?
Yeah.
Probably not my own project, but I'm also singing with a band called Splintered Throne. And they're an existing band, and they lost their singer. I was actually at a concert when their singer announced that he was leaving, and my friend was nudging me in the go talk to them. She was hitting me in the ribs. Go talk to them. So I did, and we set up an audition, and they said, "You're hired." So we actually just booked our first gig in August. So I'm looking forward to singing with them, and it's nice because I don't play the bass. I just can focus on the vocals. But who knows in the future, what will happen with, I think mostly I'm just going to record music. And so I think I'll be working on a new White Crone album. But of course, I'm never going to stop doing the blues. I'm never going to stop doing the blues.
There is no reason to stop doing the blues.
No, it just is. That'd be like stopping breathing or blinking or something.
I think that the whole pandemic has affected. I mean, obviously, it's on a short-term basis. A year, if you can call that short-term, has been a huge problem for many people, psychologically and financially for a lot of people. But I think that it's going to have a long-term effect. I think the in terms of live venues. Yeah. I mean, I know in the UK certainly that a lot of the smaller venues may not. Be able to recover from it. For years, and I think once that culture has disappeared, it may not come back again. I don't know, which is a bit sad. But okay, let's move on to your next song then.
Okay.
Let's not talk too much sadness.
Well, how about I'll do Old Girl. Yeah. So this song actually it relates to me doing this heavy metal project because I started writing these songs for myself, for my own enjoyment. I never intended on releasing them. I just thought, I want to write some music that I would have listened to when I was 16 years old, And so, but as it started coming together, I thought, I think this is something people are going to want to listen to and they're going to want to enjoy. And there was a part of me that was like, I'm too old to do this. And there's another part of me that's like, no, I still think I'm 16 years old. And so there's still a lot of this, because there's a lot of young ingenues out there, and these beautiful young women are out there playing the blues and stuff. And so there's a part of me that's like, well, I'm not an old woman. So there's this group of women who are mature and they have the respect for that. And then there's the young pretty girls on stage, in the short skirts, and I'm in between. And it's a weird place to be in between. But I remember what that felt like when I wasn't a little girl and I wasn't a teenager. So right around 11, 12 years old, I remember that's the same feeling. And when I was, that college age where you're not a teenager anymore and you can't, it's like, I have to be a grown-up now. How do I do this? So I remember that in-between feeling, and that's what the song is really about. So
that's interesting.
All right. I'm an old girl. I'm living in a young girl's world with too much makeup on my eyes. And do you think this skirt's a little high? No, I ain't 23, but that's not how it seems to me. It feels like I'm starting out brand new, and that isn't an easy thing to do for an old girl. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm an old girl. I'm living in an old woman's world with anniversary diamond rings. Madam, may I help you with your things? No, I ain't 24, but I don't need you to get the door. Most of my days I'm feeling strong, and I believe I can get along as an old girl. I'm an old girl. I'm living in a grown man's world, but it's getting easier, that's true. Sometimes I get to tell them what to do. No, I ain't 25, but it feels so good to be alive. This whole world keeps spinning by design, and I believe I'm doing fine for an old girl. Ooh, 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 for an old girl. Ooh, this world keeps spinning by design, and I believe I'm doing fine for an old girl.
great. I love the lyrics where you do the 24 and then you do the 25 and with the key change in the middle.
Thank you.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Sinatra.
Oh, wow.
You know in when I was 20 years old, it was a very good year.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes through decades of his life.
Uh-huh.
And I thought
right.
that with the key changes, very, very good.
Wow,
very good.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Never thought of
So, what do you feel about sort of the situation we've talked about, like putting out CDs and putting out singles and things? I mean, what is how do you feel that's sort of panning out these days? Because obviously, you know, the days of, I mean, certainly like when I was a kid, of like somebody saying there's an album coming out next week and everybody's queuing to buy it and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, you're all going out to somebody's house just to hear this disc. That's way, way, way gone. So now it's stuff is, you know, there are millions of MP3s being floated around every day. How do you think that affects that sort of genre, for want of a better word, of the blues?
Yeah, it's crowded. It's just really crowded because everybody can record in their basement now. And that means there also is a lot of lower quality audio floating around too.
Yeah.
But and that's in all genres of music.
Yeah.
But it's also more egalitarian. And you know, if you're willing to hustle yourself and you're willing to learn how to self-promote, then you know you might be able to, you know, pay a few bills with that stuff. You know what I'm really happy about is the advent of Bandcamp, the platform Bandcamp.
Yes, I use
because
Bandcamp.
Spotify, well, aside from the fact it doesn't pay very well, Spotify is like the playlists, and it's really playlist focused.
Yeah.
And so if you get on a playlist, people, you know, I have one song that's been heard, you know, 250,000 times because it ended up on some big playlists. And it's not even a song I really even do in my set anymore. It's just, hey, wow, surprise, surprise, it's on a playlist. But people don't really listen to albums anymore. Like you said, you know, people would buy, I remember when I was a teenager, we'd go to the record store and you buy an album and everybody, like you said, you come over and everybody goes, hey, let's listen to this album together.
Walk home with it.
Yeah, you walk home with it. And then you read all the liner notes and you listen to the whole thing from start to finish. And that's what I like about Bandcamp is because people complain about the app because of that. They go, it's just this one artist and I see the picture of the album and then it's just the one. And it's like, yeah, that's the point. Listen to the album.
I've asked most people this question that I've interviewed in terms of like on a CD player, would you ever use the shuffle button?
Yeah.
And most people come back and say, no, an album was designed to go from the beginning to the end, you know, and because that's the way somebody spent a lot of time, a lot of effort into planning that.
Amen.
So, and my thing is that if for some, I hear a track on the radio from an album that I know, then because the song after it will be by a different artist, I feel quite disappointed. Because mentally, I'm listening to the album. Yeah, I know what the next track should be. You know?
Me too. I do that too. I'll start singing it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you hear the pause and you think, "Oh right, yeah, 1, 2, yeah," and away you go. But it's the wrong song. Yeah, it's. But I wonder. You say it is more democratic, in egalitarian that people, but it, as with all democracy, the problem with democracy is that any idiot can vote, and I think that's my perception. But the thing about it is the other thing that I notice, I don't know how you feel about this, is that people hear more music today, but they don't listen to as much music.
Wow, that's really unique insight. Yeah. It's and that's the thing about Spotify is like you can make money on Spotify if you get on these playlists, but basically you're just the background music for somebody who's vacuuming. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. I actually have some friends that they make music specifically for Spotify, and if you make music that says music to relax by,
Yeah.
Music for an energetic workout,
Right.
and they post that, and then people will search music for an energetic workout, and that's what will pop up in the algorithm.
Yeah.
And so I have a friend who he said he made $27,000 on Spotify just from Spotify alone.
Gosh.
And so it just changes the way an artist might function and might think, and it's still great music. It's great music. He's a fabulous musician, but he's able to do his original stuff. I think it kind of funds his original jazz music and fusion.
Ah,
music.
right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it does change the way we think about how we can commercialize our music.
Yes.
I don't tend to do that. I don't have the time and energy to do that. But
I can understand it if he's trying to fund jazz, because as the great Ronnie Scott said, he said, "Do you know how you end up with £1 million playing jazz? You start
out with two."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an oldie but goldie, but very true. So I can't blame him for doing that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, would you like to do one more song for us?
Sure.
Yeah. Is there any good news? Have you got any news to tell us about what's happening you mentioned the Crone album.
Yes.
And anything else to tell us that's going to be exciting in the near future? Are you coming back to the UK?
Well, I don't have any plans to come back to the UK because, really nobody can plan still.
No, that's true.
It's still impossible to plan.
Yeah.
I've actually had festivals. Yeah, this summer I had festivals in the US that they were rescheduled. And some of them are reschedules of reschedules. You know what I mean? And even they had to cancel because even though things are opening up, you can't really plan for what like the city is going to tell you or the state or the county. Yeah. So they just said, we'll just do it next year. Yeah. So it could, I imagine I'm going to try to come back to the UK next year because this year I just don't think we can plan. So Dudley, hey Dudley, let's light a fire for 22, And but for now, I'm going to be live streaming. I still live stream from my Facebook page at 2 p.m. I'm going to do that today on Tuesdays.
Right.
And
good.
And that's 10 p.m. where you are. And I have some local and regional shows going on. And I'm sure we're going to have a really great Christmas season where we raise some money for children's cancer charities.
Yeah.
And look, it's Alan's foot.
I was going to say this. Actually, I must share something with you. My wife's just posted something because we were talking. Yeah? We were talking before about Spotify, and I started saying as part of my on-stage routine, I was saying, I'd like to dedicate this song to my wife because she's such a big part of my musical life, and she's she's with me all the time. She comes to all the gigs and everything else. And as a little bit of a reward for that, I said last year I would give her all my Spotify royalties, and she said, "Thank you very much. It's the best cup of coffee I've ever tasted."
Yeah. Yeah, 0.0008 cents.
Yeah, exactly. Took a while to get to a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, see, that's even worse with pounds.
With pounds, it's even worse. Yeah. It's even worse. Oh, boy.
Excellent.
Well, for this next song, you mentioned, you have psychic powers, I swear.
Oof.
I mean it, I swear, because you're just like, you don't even know what song I'm going to do.
No,
and you're
no idea.
setting them up because you just asked me about touring in the UK. And I wrote this song when I was on tour in the UK the last time. I was in Folkestone.
All right.
And I had a busted foot. I had a bad foot. I was on crutches. So we had a couple of days off, and I was in this hotel room. And I had this idea for a song. Of course, there's another one where I had an idea a long time ago and then forgot about it, and then it came back. Yeah. And so, when you're an independent artist, you have to pay for the studio time. You have to pay for the advertise. Everything a label will pay for, you have to pay for that. Photography, CD manufacturing, legal, stuff, copywriting, and all that stuff. And then also when you go on tour, when I this last tour, after we paid for the petrol and the hotels, for the musicians, for the fees just to come over there, and the airline tickets, everything. It was pretty much, there was nothing left for me. I just brought CDs and hoped I could make some money selling CDs. And so that's when I was stuck on my crutches in this hotel room for a couple of days. I thought, well, I'm going to finish this song. And so that's the story of this song, and you'll get a kick out. You'll know you have psychic powers now. Okay, and it's in the key of C. Everybody's making money but me. I got another invoice today. I'll add it to the piles of bills to pay. I got my head above water, but I fear I'm gonna drown someday. Yes, I love this life tremendously, but I got the business sense to see everybody's making money but me. I'm at the studio as we speak, and the photographer is coming next week to give the graphic designer some images that she can retweak. And the promoter's waiting patiently for me to wire him a sizable fee. Everybody's making money but me. You got the ticket takers, deal makers, advertisers, cab drivers, makers of them cables and strings, Dutch Bros Studios, airlines and stage pros, and CD manufacturing. I believe this is a life for me. Oh, but making music isn't easy, you see. Everybody's making money but me. Oh, it's true. Hotels, motels, internet and phone bills, and musical societies, ASCAP, sky caps, Harry Fox and phone apps, and legal liability. I believe this is a life for me. Oh, but making music isn't easy, you see. Everybody's making money but me. I guess it's some consolation to see I'm stimulating the economy. Everybody's making money. Every little bee has got to get their honey. Everybody's making money but me.
Excellent. The first blues ever to have the phrase stimulating the economy in. Fabulous. The other rhyme I liked was tremendously and the sense to see.
Thank you very much.
That's a great rhyme.
As long as it goes E at the end.
Yeah, fine. but it's the extra syllables in there as well. I also like the fact that you've got it's almost like a B section where all the words are very staccato. And you go da 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 da.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Yeah, and which
this is a big list.
Yeah, but the list is said in a different way. It's got a different rhythm to it. Great.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Thanks for listening. You're a deep listener, and that really matters.
I can't think who it was, but some I can't think of what Irish novelist said. I always read slowly because people spend a lot of time on words, and they deserve time.
Like a fine dessert. Someone spent a lot of, or a fine meal. Someone spent a lot of time making this meal. Don't wolf it down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Lisa, it's been an absolute delight talking to you. It's been
thank you.
Great fun. Do keep in touch, and
I will.
Hopefully we'll meet again. Probably again here for now, but maybe sometime in the future we'll meet. We'll meet in Leek and have an oat cake.
Yes, we'll have several oat cakes with cheese.
And thank you to thank you to your man with the appearing feet. Where are you?
Hey, well, why don't you bring your head in here instead?
Yeah, come and say hello.
Bring your head and say hi, Alan.
Alan, where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, thanks for your help. Yep. You're a good man.
He is very helpful.
Yeah,
he does dishes too.
He cooks.
And he cooks. Oh, there you go.
No, I cook. He does the dishes. We got a system.
A system. Well, as long as it works, as long as it gets you through the night, as they say.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your involvement in it. It's been good.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for those who tuned in.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Great songs, great voice, great play. Such an unusual combination to have as a solo artist in this context. Is like, you know, voice and bass guitar. It's a tricky one to pull off. She does it beautifully. Really, really good. So that's it for this week. Next week is our 50th episode. So I think that's going to be a little bit different. I've had messages coming in from many of the people who've appeared, who've sent recordings and songs they've recently released and stuff like that. So I'm going to spend a bit of time over the next few days compiling next week's musical adventure. So in the meantime, look after yourselves. Those of you in Manchester, enjoy the sunshine whilst we can, and those of you all over the place, enjoy the music. Thanks for signing in, everybody. Mr. Colin Campbell signed in as well. Thank you, Colin. And Nev, who's here as a regular visitor. And Stephen Harrison, as I said before. Yeah, it's been a good turnout. So look after yourselves, everybody, and take care, and see you next week.